So I've owned the Nintendo Switch 2 for almost a month now, and I just realized I have not used this feature ever. Apparently this feature is a major feature, but why is nobody using it? So if you've realized, on the Nintendo Switch 2 there is a C button on it on the lower right corner of the Nintendo Switch 2, and if you've seen this button is linked to a feature called Game Chat. So when Nintendo introduced Game Chat, it was a great feature on paper, and this is what Game Chat is supposed to do. Game Chat is supposed to allow individuals or people or friends who are playing a game together to share their screen and also chat through the gameplay. So whilst they are playing the game, they are chatting with each other, they are sharing ideas and sharing opinions, and they can also share their screens, their gameplay screens. And so this feature on paper is very, very good. And that was Nintendo's intention when they introduced the Game Chat feature. Though it sounds useful on paper, but is it relevant or is it useful for everybody who owns a Nintendo Switch 2? I didn't even realize that this feature exists until just yesterday, when I just chanced on a Reddit post, when I was just going through a couple of Reddit posts and threads and all of that, and I chanced on a post that was talking about this feature specifically, and I just sat down and I'm like, oh really, so this feature existed, but I had almost forgotten about it. And so I read through the thread, and a couple of people just like myself had even forgotten that it existed on the Nintendo Switch 2, and most of all, people don't even use it. Like when I went through the thread, I realized that a lot of people do not even use this feature on the Nintendo Switch 2. And so you find people saying things like, I've got friends but most of them don't have a Switch 2, and also others saying that less than half of my state population owns a Switch 2 anyways in the whole world. And others were also saying I have zero friends. Others also said that I'm in the camp, I don't have anyone to use Game Chat with. And others were also saying, same bro, I'm fine with having no friends, I have more time to myself, plus we are the strongest of them all, we can be alone. So even though this feature exists and is very useful on paper, most people tend not to use it. Just like myself, that I had even forgotten it existed. And this is why I've never used the Game Chat feature on the Nintendo Switch 2. It's because I'm always playing solo. I don't have other friends that I could be playing some games with online. And most importantly, I'm an introvert, so I just like to spend my time alone. I love playing solo or single player games. So I don't normally do a lot of multiplayer games, whether online or even locally, because I barely have friends who come to visit me. And secondly, it's not part of my natural flow when I'm playing games. It's because when I'm playing games, I'm so much into the story. I don't play multiplayer games, so I'm not chatting with anybody online, or I'm not reading something that somebody sent in the chat or something. I'm just fully concentrated on the game that I'm playing. So I just get everything right. I'm never going out of the story in the game that I'm playing. So all my mind, my attention and everything is basically on the story, because it's a one-player game, single-player game. So I just have to concentrate on what I'm doing in that game instead of concentrating on probably some friends online that I could be chatting with whilst playing through the game or something. So basically, it's because I don't normally play multiplayer games. I think that it doesn't integrate naturally to how we would play the Nintendo Switch 2. And for somebody like me who normally plays single player games and I play the Nintendo Switch casually, it doesn't really integrate into my gameplay flow or how I play naturally. And the fact that I will have to subscribe to the Nintendo Switch online subscription or whatever they have before I can use Game Chat makes it like a two-step kind of thing for me to even consider using. And there are not a lot of games that utilize this feature on the Nintendo Switch 2. There are a couple of games like Mario Kart and some other games that utilize this feature, and mostly multiplayer games that utilize this feature. You know, basically this feature is relevant when it comes to multiplayer games that you can't play with friends online and all of that. But when it comes to single player games or story mode games and something like that, I think this feature may be dead to almost everybody who often plays single player games or story based games and something like that, instead of arcade games like Mario Kart, NBA 2K that you can play with some other friends and family online, and multiplayer gaming and all of that. And thus, the game chat feature on the Nintendo Switch 2 might not be for somebody like myself. And so the main question is game chat on the Nintendo Switch 2 a useless feature? No. There are some people that this feature may really benefit. I'm talking about people who play multiplayer arcade games online with friends and family. You know, not everybody has got a lot of friends or a bunch of friends and family that they can play these arcade multiplayer games online with. And even if they have got some friends and family, how many of them own a Nintendo Switch for you to play it with them? Just like myself, nobody in my family owns a Nintendo Switch. Most of them are PC gamers. So even if I want to use the game chat feature on my Nintendo Switch 2, it's still going to be difficult because none of my family members owns a Nintendo Switch 2. But if you are somebody who has got a ton of family members owning a Nintendo Switch 2, then I guess this feature is really going to elevate your gaming experience if you can play online with them through some multiplayer arcade games and all of that, like Mario Kart and some other games. Yeah, then probably this feature is meant for you. So all in all, it's not a useless feature, but it's a niche feature. It might not be for people who normally play single player games and also casual gamers, but it might be, or it's relevant for people who play a ton of multiplayer online games with other friends and family. So it's good on paper, but not for everybody. And thanks to everybody who watches my video. The community is 67 subscribers strong. We're growing bigger and bigger. And so thank you so much for all the love that you've shown me, the likes, the comments and everything. So let me know down in the comment section what feature is the most useless, or let me say what feature on the Nintendo Switch 2 is a marginal one for you, and do you really use game chat? I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.